So if you could sort of redesign dream in your dream, your vision, middle or high school, what would you change
Yeah,
specific?
so I think this is a great question. I think in ways some of my work subconsciously has been around that. So for one, I like to look at middle school through various lenses. What is a student experiencing developmentally? What are they expected of academically? And I do believe that middle school is a great opportunity to really dig deep in on project-based learning because so much of a middle schooler's experience in school is social development. This is one of the first times that they are really thinking about who they are as a person. And so, although they may be in class and they're focused on math, like their mind is focused on what happened during passing periods, how this person thinks of them in the classroom, etc. And so, I think this is a great opportunity for them to really dig in on project based learning and coupling that with internships. And so a lot of my work was focused on trying to integrate that into the school day, but as is. I and a mentor, Namrata Gupta, actually transformed After School All Stars Bay Area, which we started a newer chapter for, which was after school programming, to really focus on an extended learning day program where we were able to bring in courses like an architecture course. We were able to bring in product design courses where students were able to use glow forges and create their own products. Also integrate a chef's lives class that was taught by the town's kitchen, where they actually were able to prepare some of their meals at the restaurant. I feel like if we were able to allow students to, one, have their core education courses, but then also focus the second half of the day of maybe like a year-long internship that is focused in a certain area, it allows folks to be able to explore, to fail, to have success, and then have a sense of when they're going into high school, how might they continue that project-based and internship-based learning to see where they would like to land. I think my vision would be that in starting in middle school, someone who is in ninth or 10th grade is more so focusing on, well, I've tried these 4 to 5 different things, and these 2 things I'm really good on, but, I'm really trying to decide, is it this or is it that? That is more than likely not the case. Most of the time, a student is feeling 7% sure about going down a certain pathway, and that's coupled with having conversations with their family around financing college, if that conversation has not taken place already, and adds a level of stress to that decision that is unnecessary. In an ideal world, it would be great if a student was able to be in ninth or 10th grade and have a portfolio. Maybe they went down a video game design route. Maybe they wanted to go down photography. Maybe it was actually in something that was around coding and tech. But to be able to have work to then reflect on and say, hey, if I did want to do an internship between my sophomore and junior year in high school, I actually can show a proof of work so that someone can see where my skills are and decide if they would like to, go out on a limb and allow me to further develop those skills. I think a lot of times the focus that we have in schools around proficiencies, and we already know by the data that students may or may not feel confident in sharing that when it is not directly aligned to the skills that are needed for those opportunities. So again, I feel like in integrating more project-based learning and internship, experiential learning, students will have more to share for themselves rather than looking at SBAC results and saying, this is where I place. They will have more autonomy in sharing the different proof points and data that speaks to their skills for the things that they're interested in. And I feel like that's way more aligned to the ways in which students explore and even pivot their majors in undergrad, and how that process definitely primes folks to then know what type of graduate program would they want to go into.
Thank you for listening to the Willow Kids podcast.